Well, hello everybody. It is I, the Searsist. And we're back today and we're going to try Matthew Fox's Esper list. And, we're going to die a little on the inside. Because I hate gearhooks. So, let's give it a try. If you want to know anything about this deck, I probably can't answer it particularly well, but you can check out Matthew Fox's stream and his Twitter account, which I guess I should link, but there's nobody here right now. But anyway, he's written a sideboard guide and stuff, so I guess we keep this hand. It doesn't seem appealing to me. He mulligans, so we keep. One second, guys. Sorry. Sorry about that. Alright, to the games we go. I'll put my phone down and we'll actually play Magic. I don't know if we're Gucci. Like, we still can't play either of these. We have no removal spells. So on and so on. This turns all of our lands on and at least bluffs a fatal push. Not that I think that matters at all. Alright, so we get the Matthew Mirror, which is sweet since I've already wasted a minute on my clock. Somehow I'm still up a second on him though. Which is kind of mind-boggling if you really think about it. By the way, hello James and Nick. I was just like, go to the end of my turn and press F6 because YOLO. Have no action. Pretending like we don't have white mana in our deck. Sweet. Your secret identity. On top, on bottom. We have to discard here, and I'm pretty fine with discarding. Yeah, I've pressed F6 twice, and it's just like, nah, brah. No F6 Arini for you. I may just hard slam a Gearhulk at the end of his next turn. When you're ahead in card count, I like throwing away these like kind of bad cards to like just try to force action from him. And I don't really care if he counterspells it. Like if we get a disallow out of this, it's kind of nice. He can't play his own Gearhulk, so Have to be a little bit more cautious with the next Gear Hulk, however, because now he can Gear Hulk himself. If he doesn't play a land this turn, I will cast a Glimmer. If he plays an untapped land, I won't. Alright, so we can Glimmer. I'm somehow below on clock now, and I feel like I've just not been making decisions, so it's like kind of weird to me. I think this is one of the more important cards in the match, so I don't mind a fight for it. You rarely want to waste hard counter spells on card draw because, like, when you're playing a control mirror, you're just going to draw all the cards at some point regardless, but the amount of counter spells you have is a finite number. Finite number is a term that the Brad Nelson used in his article. That's not my term, but that's the Brad Nelson, so... Oh. I removed that stop and immediately skipped from my main phase. I wonder how often we're going to do that. Let's just go ahead and put that back so I don't screw that up ever. Just don't want to screw that up ever. So you get some value out of this, but not a lot. Hey Hodge, not a lot, man. Trying Maddie's Esper list. Or as I like to call him, the Pete Ward's friend. A lot of things going on for us at the moment. We're ahead in mana. And we have a search for Azcanta, so I would imagine we win this game. It's just a matter of when. Hey, Juka, what is up? Just keep taking hard counter spells of these. Normally I record what cards are going to the bottom. I don't know how relevant that is, though, when we're not playing approaches and stuff. I'm just going to have to try to remember. I'm already down on clock. Of course, I did, like, waste a minute at the beginning. I'm pretty happy just sitting here, like, loading my hand up. It's relevant to remember where that one is, even though I told it just to arbitrarily put on the bottom anywhere. Alright, so he's down to 4 cards. I'll probably try to slam a Gear Hulk this turn. I have to assume some of those are fatal pushes and stuff at this point. Like how I'm searching, like I wouldn't counterspell anyway, and I have every counterspell possible in my hand. Put a land on top because I'm a wild and crazy kid. I have 9 cards, we have to discard 2? That's unfortunate. We've still not found a Teferi, and that's like the one card I'm looking at. Siphoner is, in fact, fantastic. I agree. This is a card I've been looking for a while. I actually want to remember where that disallow is. It's kind of like relevant. I would fight for this. Sorry I can't really read chat too much. I have never done that yet, Nick, but I don't know. It could be a possibility of something you would want to do in some spot. Actually, just willing to... Kind of want this in my graveyard anyway. We're just trying to get to the point now where we can end the game. Like, I feel like we have a large advantage. So I'm kind of like spewing off counterspells in spots that I probably shouldn't, but I just feel like this Teferi can win the game. He's down to 2 cards anyway, and we have more than 2 hard counterspells in our hand. I forget to play a land last turn. I don't think I did. Just gonna let that happen. I thought Scarab God's been great. The build I tried had 4 of them main and no Gearhulks. Yeah, those are plays. That type of play is a play I do a lot when I'm playing the blue-white build. Well, at least we're catching up on clock some while our opponent's thinking. That's nice. Okay, he's done. Sweet. We don't have to finish it off. I hate Hulk so bad. I feel like Hulk is a liability in matches like this, and I feel like it's a liability versus red-black as well. So I've tried to avoid them. But, like, Matt's had a lot of success with this. I think he said he's 23-6 or something now. So, out on the draw, he takes out a cast down. So we're just going to try his sideboard plan because it's his deck. We're not going to put any thought into it, really. We're literally just going to do what he says to do. And what does he bring in? Brings in a cast out, the Eldest Reborn, a couple of Knights, a couple of Duresses, and a couple of Negates. And a Forsake. So this is what he brings in. Wonder why he brings in Forsake. Like, Vraska's Contempt can hit a Teferi or a Gearhulk, whereas Forsake can hit a Cast Out. I guess it can hit Search for Ascanthus and Argos Bloodfast. Not having an Argos Bloodfast, by the way, seems real awkward to me. I also really like having the Scarab Gods in decks where I think my Scarab Gods might get Essence Scattered. Or sorry, my Gearhulks might get Essence Scattered. Like, that always feels like a win to me. Because if you can just, like, resolve, you know, like in that last game, if I just resolve a Scarab God that game, I have so many more counter spells. They leave in their essence scatters. They have 2 mana spells for your 6 mana plays. That's the reason I think it's a liability. Just like 2 mana spell versus a 6 mana play is like pretty good. Not worried about taking a couple damage. I'd rather just slam search and try to develop my mana. If we had 2 or 3 more mana in play, we might have tried to resolve the Malice, but probably not. I'm going to go ahead and play this. There's nothing I'm going to counterspell this turn, so I'd rather just go ahead and use it. I mean, maybe he has Karn or something, but I'm not too worried if he has Karn. These little knights can actually just win games. Ooh, they're missing their land drop. Nope, they're not. Never mind. Nope, we'll keep that. I feel pretty far behind now, but I'm still going to hold up counter spells, and I'll try to glimmer at the end of their turn. Eh. If glints were just more common, though, we'd probably be playing Walking Ballista like the blue-white decks, right? So we'd still have, like, an out to it. Yeah, that seems fine. Yes, no. But no, I agree with you. I think glints are great. Problem is, 1 or 2 glints isn't good. You have to have the full 4. I feel like you have to have the full 4. We no longer have a basic planes in our deck, so we can't field to fix our mana. So this is kind of different, but I'm far enough behind I'm actually going to negate that. But the Teferi minus, though, I can't target this, so I'm just trading a Teferi to get my search back. I don't know if that's good enough. Alright, so the rest, and hopefully resolve a Gearhulk. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sweet, we can resolve a Gearhulk. If he bricks on a land next turn, we should be in pretty good shape. I'm going to keep both of these. I think search is that good. He kept whatever it is, so I'm going to assume there's a decent chance it's a land. Oh, apparently he had to land anyway, and I'm just blind. The hell did he tap for the land? He must have played to come into play tap land, and I'm just not paying enough attention. Yeah, I'm just stupid. Oh no, never mind. He did play a land. Why is it not showing me in the game log? Okay, there it is. I was just overlooking it. Okay, I'm glad I can count to 5. Being able to count to 5 feels good, friends. Being able to count to 5 accurately feels pretty good. I'm just going to play this in case I need to disallow and syncopate. Whew! Was worried there for a second that I wasn't able to count to 5. That was scary. Stupid little Knight of Malice did so many things. He's also playing Matt's updated list because he has the cast out. Just going to let that one resolve because it's going to take a disallow anyway, and I don't want to spend 3 mana to protect it. I don't really care if he sees my hand. I don't think him seeing my hand changes anything here. Normally, if they use a discard spell, you'd use your counter spell, but like, there's enough things that, like, another knight plus a counter spell would have been annoying if I tapped 3 lands. There'd probably been enough to beat me, for example. The attack with both, I'm going to block the knight and take 5. So if he's playing Matt's list, that means he's probably also using Matt's sideboard guide. So that's something for us to keep in mind. My life's pretty low. If he's got a syncopate or a negate, that's fine. I don't really care. I don't care too much if he untaps and resolves a Teferi either. There's not a lot I cared at if he resolves this turn. Teferi would probably be worst case. Contempt or something to kill this. Same difference. But if he has any of those type of spells, he would have been able to resolve it next turn anyway. Most likely. Because I probably wouldn't fight over any of those spells. So all we need now is to draw a good spell. That's a good spell. They have 1 card in hand, we have 1 hard counterspell, so get out of here, friend. Oh, that was a terrible play mistake. I should have bounced this and attacked the Teferi. I am so bad. You are allowed to take your sideboard guide, yeah. God, that was a terrible play by me. That was just not a thinking play. That was such a bad play. Okay, good point. Good heck point. So I'm just a genius. Is what you're trying to tell me, Hodge? I never make play mistakes. I agree with you. I am a genius, my friend. Couldn't have said it better myself. I am just the smartest. So I guess I need to go ahead and Glacial now. Because he can just discard a card and draw it or whatever. So this like guarantees shuffles it away. So next turn we get to untap this. We still have 2 hard counterspells in our hand, so I don't think he's going to get out of the quote-unquote lock at this point. Or not this turn anyway. We'll probably get at least 1 more turn with the Teferi. We'll probably get 1 turn to go nutty with his Azcanta, which is kind of nice. Yeah, he still just has 2 cards in his hand, so... As long as he continues just to have 2 cards in his hand and we have 2 counter spells in our hand, that's what I refer to in the business as good. Okay, apparently it's going to make me put that swamp there. Keep that. Should have waited till they use Azcanta. That way they don't get to scry before they draw. Oh, that's a good point. We cannot start strip mining opponent. Not yet. There's a chance that I can tempt this and just start attacking, though. I could have just contempted this as well. Or sorry, cast out this, but... let's start with this. So I have 2 counter spells. Okay, I'll just untap then. We can almost start strip mining ourselves. So they have a disallow now. Now they're tapping mana? Oh wow, they're going to disallow that. That's neat. That was neat. Take care, Hodge. See you around, bub. Wow, whiff. Whiff, whiff city. Not the happiest person to ever be happy when you whiff on a Teferi activation. I don't think opponent was dead here, but maybe all 3 of their cards was bad. Anyway, I'll take the concession. And I'll pick up my cell phone. Because I am a beautiful man. I'm such a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful man. Hey, apparently I got new follows. Why? Why does my thing not show me? Why are you not working? So apparently my Streamlabs just does not work. Alright, we'll keep this in. Ooh, you get a 6% back on TCG player right now. I may or may not have cards on TCG player. That may be something you all should think about. We're all beautiful in our own way. Even Jabba the Hutt.
I'm Jabba. Wow.
So we have all of our colors of mana and we still can't cast our spell because 2 of our colors of mana come on this little bro. Looks like they've got the decision that is tough. We get coverage tomorrow, right? SEG Invitational. Kind of wish that I had a roommate, somebody to share like events with. Be cool just to sit down, eat chips, you know, drink some Gatorade or some Kool-Aid or something, and talk about the coverage. But I do not, so. Oh, cool! Just another blue deck of some kind. I was going for Yoda, which is also not Jabba, but I failed at that miserably. Courtyard. Interesting. No, buddy! Buddy, we're so dead. Our deck just doesn't beat this card. Yeah, well, we can fix our mana now. Todd did karaoke? Which Todd? Like, we can kill that one. I guess that one can resolve. We just can't beat this one ever. Not in a million years. Alright, we can beat it, but it's not easy. No, I didn't. I didn't know Todd Anderson streamed today. I missed it entirely. That's right. I got a swamp and forgot to kill that. How do you like them apples? How do you like how I just wasted a mana? That ain't no thing. I am the boss. Alright, I'm going to have to go look up the replays and hope that that crap's not muted too badly. Oh, the candy. No, I've not been on Twitter. Not too much. No history of Dominaria. We would just be dead. Alright, that can resolve. That can resolve too, because we can contempt it. Actually, that wasn't supposed to resolve because we can't contempt all three things they have in play. Yeah, I don't like that. I should have essence scattered that. This feels like a big mistake now. Tilt. I gotta get rid of one of my good cards because we don't have lands. Am I supposed to just take this all? Feels like I'm just taking this all. That's the card we can't beat. If we hit a land, it won't be the end of the world. So the chances we're going to hit a land, not particularly high. I think I'm going to play it anyway. Land us. Nice. Just tried to restart Moto and it took 10 minutes. Jeez. That is horrible. So if I let that resolve, this thing is 100% dead. If I don't let that resolve, he crews this, and that thing is 100% dead. I feel like I have to counterspell it. He's probably just going to attack my head, by the way. I think there's a good chance he just attacks my head. he does just attack my head, we can like minus this and then kill something on the next turn. Oh god, that feels so good for me. Now, how good would it be if we hit this Fatal Push off this Illumination? Feel like we have a basically small chance to win the game, and we missed. So what can we do now? We can disallow this trigger, kill this. Or we can kill this and save disallow. I think I like that a little more. Should have cycled first? Cycled first in terms of what? Before I decided about the Lyra or not? If I cycled first, I can't represent cast down. And cast down may save me damage if I can represent it. I don't think we actually have outs right now unless we like chain some gear hooks off. We could still win if we just like hit multiple gear hooks. But cast down was the main reason I didn't. I wanted to at least represent it because I wanted them attacking with the Heart of Kirin. I thought if they attacked with the Heart of Kirin, there was a better chance they attacked the fairy than me. We're still just dead next turn. Everything we've did, and we're still just dead next turn. Still just probably dead next turn. See, there's nothing that we have that's sorcery speed that matters, right? I don't think there's anything that we have that's sorcery speed. I can't remember though, so I guess it's just safer to do this. Alright, we're dead. And those knights are hard to beat. I think we want cards like this in this match. Probably want these as well. I guess we probably even want these, as weird as that sounds. Do we want this? Get Scrap Heap Scrounger, but I'm not 100% sure that they are Scrap Heap Scrounger. What cards don't I want? Let's think about that a little bit. This is only our second match with it. I'm not actually sure. I mean, it could. Get rid of that. I'm clueless out of sideboard. I think this allows and Syncopates probably aren't great here, but like Syncopate's probably a little better than Disallow. There's not a sideboard guide for our opponent's deck, though, is there? And like, I don't think I want to bring in cards like Duress versus what we saw. Like, he's got the Black White Knight deck, but like the Black White Knight deck is going to play very different than what we just saw, I think. We're playing versus the tribal deck. It could be bad. I'm pretty worried about all the knights in general, though. I don't like Disallow versus Duress decks. I feel like your cards need to play off the top better. Could have brought this in, maybe. I probably should have brought this in. Maybe the cast downs aren't good. Maybe like the 3 cast downs in the deck should just be like an Eldest Reborn, a Commit, and a Teferi. Gonna hold up Syncopate, because if he just plays a Knight of Grace, we're like pretty close to that, I think. Like, that card's that good versus us. Plays any other knight that we can kill, that's great for us. I forgot Isolated Chapel was a swamp, so I just like hard slammed it to represent Essence of Scatter, but like we were already representing Essence Scatter. So now we're not representing Disallow. Our opponent started playing slow all of a sudden. They not have anything? Or did they just accidentally skip to their main? Might cycle this farmland. Okay, they have something. Yeah, history is one of the quickest ways to beat us, which is kind of the reason I like Cast Down a little bit. It's like not worth a full history, but it's worth at least half a history, and that buys us a lot of time. I should have tapped the island, but double black doesn't really represent anything. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm just cycling, Nick. Can't see a real reason not to. Like, all his spells are so good when they resolve that, like, I feel like I'm not trying to play like a super long game. I have to find ways to interact earlier. I just die. That's kind of a nice one. That's also kind of a nice one. Like, we need to get to like our negates. and stuff before he just starts jamming Karn. There's a good chance I cycle this for Sake the Worldly too. %100% cycle. Rip. Ah, he didn't use it. I don't know if he's playing that exact list, but he's playing something similar at least. That doesn't do anything. 3 mana doesn't do anything the way we sideboarded does it. Well, at least he missed a Karn activation. And then he netted a land. This gives us time to try to find a contempt, I guess. None of those do anything. That's a bad sign for us. Probably too far behind to win now. Have anything in their graveyard of relevance? We do not. I guess we have this. Stops him from drawing a bunch of cards. I guess they could have Syncopate, so... Yeah, they're either drawing or having a gate. Okay, they're drawing. Alright, do your worst. They have a history that we know they can get back with the Karn. That we know about. Oh, they chose not to get their history back. That's kind of interesting to me. They don't want their history? And then they don't play the swamp that we've saw. Guess they're just killing this? Killing that, whatever. I mean, that's nice and all, but... Seems like we have another large set of tough problems to worry about beforehand. No. Yes. Back of the bush you go, Karn. Hopefully they just don't have another Karn. Which I think is pretty reasonable. They had 2 unknowns in hand. They've either drawn very weird or sideboarded a lot of their aggressive stuff out, I guess. Or maybe, I don't know. I guess they've drawn 3 knights. No more Karns, please. Our opponent is slow. I don't super care about that right now. Hey, Wow Doggo, thank you for the follow. Yeah, I've had that a lot, Smurf, so I understand that feeling. Guess I'm just gonna pass. Actually, I'm not gonna pass. Opponent's not representing any blue mana, so I'm gonna look and see if we can find a Teferi. If we do, I'll probably just bounce that thing. Go on about our day. We did not. We whiffed with Azcanta. That sucks, Murph. Hope it fixes for you, man. I want to accept this 2 damage in hopes to be able to use a Glimmer. I think I'm just going to let that resolve. Grasp of Darkness would feel too strong. Don't want you. I guess you're fine. Because I was looking for exactly Teferi. And like I want to hit. Like I was really just looking for Teferi that turn. And the Glimmer gives me an opportunity to. I don't know. It could have just been wrong. I assumed I was playing both that turn anyway. I guess I'll keep it, but like I don't really want it. I don't think I want to use it on that. I think I'm just going to cycle it. Hey, there's a card we want. We did it, fam. We found a card we want. Boom. Actually, going to play you now that we've drawn that. Guess let's pop these up now. I would try to protect this, right? Oh, we're running Matthew Folks' list. It's not a whole lot in the graveyard at the moment. Do I care more about a 4/4 or a random spell? Actually, I think that's kind of interesting, too. I guess I'll take the 4/4 then. technically to 5/4, but yeah, this is Matthew's last list. You can just start trying to win a race now, right? We'll take the Teferi. We racing. Yeah, my friend's considering playing it in his local PPTQs while we decide to give it a try ourselves. Yeah, I don't actually even care if he has a spell that kills the Teferi. It appears he doesn't. We'll take the backup Teferi. The cast downs do appear to be bad, like you guys said. Seems like at this point, whatever our decisions don't really matter. We can almost play spells at random. But I could be wrong about that. Who knows? Feels like we can play spells at almost random now. Really? I've been really impressed with Mono Red. I have no idea why he didn't attack Teferi. I think at this point he's resigned to die and he's just like trying to take up time. Which is reasonable. I guess I'm just going to kill his blocker with this. Going about my day. We already have a hard counter spell in our hand, so... Feels like he's pressed F6 at this point too, so I'll just press F6 back. Yeah, he's pressed F6. We figured it out. We will also press F6. He was just done trying to win at that point. Alright, so we didn't like these cast downs. Well, I mean, I think red-black's better than mono-red, but I think mono-red can punish the black-red decks. So we want this back. I think we want this back. Actually, I think I want this as well. I kind of think I want this as well. Hazard's a sweet card. The red-black decks are just definitely better than mono-red. Not sure what I want to sideboard. I think I want to shave one search. Especially on the draw. Like, I don't ever want to draw two of them. I sometimes don't want to draw one. I've got one more card. Maybe you're just not good enough. I like the fact that you can kill a Karn if it gets out on an open board though. So you really want duress here. Actually, I think I do want... Syncopate doesn't seem good on the draw, does it? Syncopate seems like it's a lot better on the play. These can pull a Karn or a History before it gets out of hand. I just don't know what the last card I want is. I think the rest is still fine. It gets history, it gets counter spells, and it gets Karns. And I think our counter spells are just too slow on the draw. I'm actually going to cut this one as well, I think. I like counter spells a lot less on the draw here. How many people do we have watching? My tools aren't working. 15. Alright, this hand's fine. He mulliganed. If he has a Knight of Mouse, we're going to be in a lot of trouble. Sorry, a Knight of Grace, we're going to be in a lot of trouble, I think. Anything else probably isn't the end of the world. I think Forsake seemed okay. He has to have cast outs, I think. I mean, maybe I'm wrong and maybe he just doesn't have a bunch of cast outs, but I imagine he has a bunch of cast outs, and we've already saw Heart of Kieran from him as well. Yeah, I just got followed by somebody. Fortunately, I can't read it due to our tools. Kid Finkel. Hey, Kid Finkel, what's up? If you just play Skarn here, we probably lose. No fear, says our opponent. Guess we're going to kill this one and get another swamp. Turns on the majority of our hand. This was a terrible play, by the way. I should have let him tick up first. Hey, Boot. What's up, my friend? Alright, will we get an untapped land and be in okay shape, or are we screwed? Looks like we're screwed. Just in time, Boot, to see us put up not a bit of a fight. Yeah, you can have your dress. Sure, I have nothing of value. I guess you're going to take the contempt. Alright. On the board with another Lando. So we put the fairy in their hand. They're just going to cast it without any fear. Oh no, they're going to cast that one? Well, that seemed good for us. That seems weird too. Well, I get the Teferi back this turn if you're not playing it this turn. Just cause I might get it on a later turn? I just want to tuck this. Or tuck this and make him use this Teferi on it. Drawing a card doesn't seem bad either. I'm glad we drew the card. Since we wasn't going to hit the land for the Gearhulk next turn anyway. I'm probably willing to throw away this Esper Meltdown here just to... well, never mind. Just to prevent damage, but that's probably wrong. All we have to do is hit our land. Important. Important land. Oh god. That probably beats us. So now we have to draw a land and a Forsake, and we have to draw it pretty quickly. It's not letting me sacrifice my spell. I guess I'm lagging or something? I don't have any idea. Right on time. So we're going nowhere and we're going there fast. guess the cards in my hand don't even matter, so. We're looking for pretty specific things at this point, and we need a bunch of them. Yeah, we can't come back from this. It's just too much. I think we'd have been okay if we just hadn't missed a billion land drops. Like, if we just hadn't missed a single, or if we hadn't missed land drop 4, we, like, just easily kill the Karn and, like, none of that stuff happens. So, like, we're probably a pretty stone favorite if we just don't miss the land drops. We're playing 27 lands for a reason, but this might have been a mulligan because our casting costs are like 1,000,000, but the hand seems too strong to mulligan. And we've only been getting paired versus control decks, so it feels like we have time to hit the lands. No, just another night deck. Alright, well, guess there's a good chance we just lose again. Hey, his deck's like mono creatures almost. Like he's a creature beatdown deck. I also think Disallow is just terrible versus discard spells. And we hit our land. We're probably good to go now. As long as he didn't have history that turn, we were probably good to go. Same thing for history this turn. Like, just history in general probably beats us at this point. Hey, K-Maz-uri, I guess? K-Misery? I'm not sure. We still have to hit more lands. A lot of things have to go right from here. I really just don't think he has that many planeswalkers. Well, things didn't go right. So I'm just putting both of those on top. The next turn we can Teferi tick up and use the Fatal Push. Assuming we don't draw the land for Gearhulk anyway. So we get a good play either way. Tilt. Yeah, they're really good together. And they're designed to beat these decks, but like, feel like we just win this game pretty easy if we'd had lands. Oh, no land again. Guess if I play this one, I can untap 2 and hit a Fatal Push. Also lets me get a syncopate on certain items. Let's see what he's attacking. If he's just attacking Teferi, I'm not even going to drop the syncopate. Actually, I still am. No reason not to see if we can protect it. Swing and a miss. Walking Ballista is the only card that punishes this because, like, with 2 mana, we wasn't likely to get any, like, real value anyway. So if we play this and smash this, then next turn he angels this and hits us for 7. So we go down to 4. And then the turn after that, we can Gear Hulk, put the angel. Alright, I'm just going to do this. Be annoyed that we've not had lands this entire game, but yeah, as a cast down, I'm going to be frustrated. Much frustrated. Well, we know the last card in his hand. It's an angel. So what do we need to draw now? Need to draw something good. Is that good enough? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nope. That doesn't even really do anything, does it? Yeah, that doesn't do much. Alright. The Chef at Dunes kills us, I think. So there's nothing we can do at all. Play this, bounce this, just not enough. Block this, we're still taking 4, 5, 6. Some days we won't miss our land drops, and it'll be nice. This deck's casting cost is just too high. Like, every one of these games that we're losing is showing you another reason that Gear Hulk isn't good. Hey, Deducus, thank you for the follow. Anyway, versus the white-black aggro deck, he, on the play, takes out this. Takes out this, which this is better than Illumination versus aggro decks, but that's okay. Takes out this, takes out these, even though he's got more creatures in his deck than spells. And takes out 3 of these, which I agree with. He brings in this. This. These, and these. And he leaves the Scarab God at home. I think the Scarab God's great here, by the way. I mean, think the hand was just a keep. Like I'm not sure that the hand was even close to not a keep. I'm pretty sure this card's just better than these. I'm gonna bring it in anyway. But yeah, if you draw perfect, your hands are good. We don't dissolve when designing a deck. You don't design decks that only win when you draw perfect. So it's like this hand. Again, we don't have the mana. We have a bunch of high casting costs. Are we not supposed to keep this? It's got 3 games in a row that the lands just haven't cooperated. I don't see any reason to play Esper. I feel like people should either just play blue-black or blue-white. Putting a third color in the deck makes the mana too constrained. Yeah, we don't have any spells, friend. You can do whatever you want. Tell our opponent he can do whatever he wants, still does nothing. He put a Contempt in our graveyard. Like, we're closer to a Gearhulk than a Contempt for the most part. Well, on a positive note, we're going to get to kill this. There's just no way he doesn't attack here. I agree. I like them pretty good. The new ones are pretty nice too. JK, I was wrong. I guess there's no reason to do that now. It's not hurting anything. He's not going to play a green mana and a blossoming defense. We see this card, so that pretty much gives you a clue that there's no blue in the deck. There's no reason not to do it as well, because he can easily just do what he's doing now, and like we can gain no value. So what do we want to draw now? Just infinite Gearhulks on every draw step? Hey Venom, what's up? I think that would have been an okay spot for him to attack. Because if he attacks in that spot and we do bring in the Gearhulk, we get no value other than the Knight. So how he's playing, he's like forcing himself to draw a Doomfall. I think I solved the RPTQ. I didn't really solve the RPTQ, by the way. My RPTQ decks aren't good. I think my team was going to play the John Roth red-black deck, a blue-black mid-range deck, and the blue-green Emmanuel Gershon deck, except for the negates in the Gershon deck. We were either going to play Spell Pierces or Unwinds. You definitely do not want to do that Loco Dope unless there's a lot of snakes in your area. He specifically went to approach to beat the green-black snake list, because normal blue-white does not do that. Like, the approaches are to beat the green decks. The green decks that you can't outgrind. And, like, in terms of, like, going to a large RPTQ and stuff, they're not that popular right now. Well. Black White's really strong, too. It's technically my favorite deck in the format still. I'm going to have to discard this no matter what, so I'm just going to go ahead and play it. I don't like playing it, but whatever. We're getting smashed by Eldest Reborn, so... Really? You think they're a liability? Why do you think they're a liability? Oh god. If I put this in his graveyard, he can just get it back with this. If I put this in his graveyard, I get this. I'm still putting this in the graveyard. Maybe we'll find a way to get around that here in a minute. I don't care if he kills my Gearhulk. I agree, they're never going to scoop to you if they have a teammate still playing. However, like, I don't think I can just end a match very easily. I've never even been close to time with a blue-white deck in paper. Like, I've not even been close to time. Oh, unfortunately, this Karn's going to bury us. Hopefully he won't realize he can get the Karn. Whee! I guess I could have got the Contempt and hoped to attack the Karn. So I think my play was bad. I think I messed up pretty bad there. I mean, we've all saw Brad Nelson play Magic, right? Brad Nelson's one of the slowest players on the Pro Tour, and if he's ending rounds with it, it just makes me think ending rounds with it's easy. I also don't think Blue-White's particularly good. I think Blue-White's kind of a bad deck right now. Like, I don't want to go into a room and play Blue-White when I think the majority of people are going to be on either green-black or a red deck. Like, I think that's going to be on a considerable amount of teams. I just don't want to play Blue-White into that. I think playing Blue-White is a mistake. I agree with you. I just don't agree with you for the same reason. So, we need to draw another Gearhulk, maybe a Teferi. I have to counterspell that. A Glimmer would be nice. I did not want to play Blue-White on my team. My team basically told me I had to. I told them from day one it was a mistake, and I still stand by that. Especially the Blue-White that they're taking. The last I looked at their deck, and like they don't talk to me because for some reason, even though we're in the same store, we hid our decks from each other and didn't help each other, which seems insane to me as well. Everybody should be trying to help everybody in that situation, I think. But like the last that I saw their deck, like they had blue Gearhulks and everything in the main, and I just think that is terrible. I think blue Gearhulk's such a bad Magic card. Speaking of which, though, to win this game, we would have to draw multiple Gearhulks in a row. And then that might not be enough. Like, even today, like, I'm no longer going to the RPTQ, and today they wouldn't tell me the decks they were playing. Does that make any sense? I still don't think it beats the green decks. I think the green decks are favored versus it. I think the green decks are a significant favorite versus it. And that guy didn't do particularly good in the Pro Tour. Like he went 6-3-1, so he went 6-3 in Swiss, which isn't a great record. He said in his post what do you call it? The interview, his post-winning interview, that all of his losses were basically to green decks. And even in the top 8, like, his opponents just got mana screwed game after game and mulligan game after game. Like, I don't think Mono Red's a good deck. Like, I think Mono Red's significantly worse than Red Black. I don't even think there's much debating that. You, in fact, did not, James. I specifically asked you, and you did not. You responded with, "Are you sure you're not going?" And then that was the end of the conversation. I think Mono Red is a pretty bad deck. Why would you play his exact 75? He wouldn't even play his exact 75. Did you not listen to his winner's interview? He even mentioned several changes he would make in his winner's interview. So, like, why arbitrarily copy a deck that the guy who built said he wouldn't even play? That he would make changes to? I like the Pantheon Red Black the most, but I've not got to try Carcio's build yet, and I think Rekindling Phoenix is insane. I also think if you're going to play Mono Red, you should play the John Rolfe Mono Red that has Scrap Heap Scroungers in the main deck. So it's like really a red-black deck, but like it doesn't have the black sideboard cards. Like I think that deck's pretty darn good too. But in an RPTQ setting, I think Mono Red's fine because it's pretty hard to get 3 decks that don't overlap unless you're willing to put Mono Red in a deck. Then you're not playing his exact 75. So you lied to us. See, still lying to us. But that's fine. I don't actually care. I assume Gunner's on Snakes, and I assume Ricky's on Red-White. I don't think I'm drawing badly. I think I'm drawing fairly averagely. Like, I would consider this pretty normal draws with this deck. I actually feel like we're a favorite to win this game, too. I could leave up Fatal Push mana, but there's no point in it. He could waste an Abrade here to stop me from gaining 2 life. Technically, is a 5-point swing if he does. But that means his hand's really bad if he's doing that. I wonder if I take this damage, or if I play around a braid. I don't care about killing the Soul Scar Mage. I'm just going to contempt this. In fact, I probably wouldn't even block the Soul Scar Mage. And there's a Hazoret. Hazarets are good magic cards. There goes a Hazoret. I guess I'm going to leave the Torrential Gearhulk back. No? You don't like that? Oh, I guess you do like that. Okay. You had attacked? I was hoping to be able to save the Gear Hulk, but or the Teferi. Holding it back lets him make bad attacks too. Goodbye, Teferi. That's fair. I just felt really far ahead. I'm definitely attacking this turn. Because our Teferi's at like 1,000,000. How many times can I mistap that? I did it again. What? Colorless. Yeah, he's gonna have it again at some point. But by the time he has it again, like he doesn't get it this turn, he gets it the turn after. So he might be in a part or spot where he has to start blocking. Well, I guess he could just have 2 Hazards on top of his deck. I messed up, by the way. Why did I not cycle this? That was terrible. I deserved to lose. I was talking and didn't cycle. Alright, so this game's over. I've lost it. If there's a counterspell on top of my deck, I'm going to be kind of discouraged. Whatever. Alright, sweet. Didn't matter at least. We know he's drawing another Hazard, unless I counted wrong. Unless, like, I was talking and not paying attention and missed an entire turn, he's just drawing another Hazard. I could have messed up. He could not be drawing one, who knows? Hey, Doshi. Yeah, I could have messed up. He could just have a Hazard in his hand. Or, that could have just been the same Hazard. And then if it is the same Hazard, I made significant play errors this game. I don't think it's the same Hazard, though. I really like the no attack. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Disallow Hazard trigger. That theoretically keeps us alive, right? Rip. All we need is a miracle. How do we lose this game? Because I didn't attack the one turn? Fell so far ahead though, and like he had to draw a haste threat to even kill the Tezzeret. He basically had to draw that haste threat there and another Hazoret the following card. He had to draw a Hazoret in like either the top 1 or 2 cards. Oh, so we're just dead anyway. I'm going to counterspell it only because I want to see the card in his hand. I'm going to see if I miscounted on Hazoret or not. If I kept both disallows, I'll just win the game. Okay, so I was right on. I didn't screw up the Hazoret. Bouncing the Hazoret didn't feel like it did anything, though, because we knew he had a Hazoret in his hand. It honestly didn't feel like it did much, because we knew he had a Hazoret. I don't think keeping both disallows right. I'm not even sure keeping the first disallow was right. Having 2 disallows only wins me if he makes a bad attack that he shouldn't be making. Like in this specific situation, I agree having 2 disallows would have won, but like, I don't think he should have ever attacked with all 3 of these. Like he didn't need to attack with all 3 of these. Alright, anyway, on the play, he takes out this. Could be right. Maybe I was supposed to attack that turn. See ya, Venom. Venom's had enough of my players. He leaves in a Glimmer over a Hyro. That's odd to me. Matt's a much better player to me, but when I look at his sideboarding, it feels to me like he sideboards basically at random in these matches. I'm probably just wrong. I mean, he obviously has the experience I don't. But like, some of this stuff seems so counterintuitive to me. Like, I feel like Hyro's just considerably better than Glimmer. As a prime example. I can't keep this hand. I don't know, I didn't listen to him. I'm just looking at a sideboard guide. Can't keep this hand. And it's over, we lose. Don't like the disallows either. I gotta be honest, this league's going about how I expected it to go before we started. And it's probably not just you. A lot of it's my connection. Everybody lags in a Sears' chat. Right on time, Essence Scatter. Or Essence Extraction. I misspoke. We can still win if we draw a Scarab God. Yeah, we're about an hour and 40 minutes into the video. For a tournament like an open field or an RPTQ or like the Ilmo CS, if I was playing the Ilmo CS this weekend, I would either play the John Rolfe black deck or red-black deck, or I would play the Pantheon, and maybe some changes, maybe not the exact 75. But like, or maybe the Pantheon red black decks. Probably where I'd start with. Or I might well just tune a blue-white deck and put some authorities and stuff in it and build it to beat red decks. Like I think there's a blue-white deck or a blue-black deck that beats the red decks. I just don't think it's one that we've saw that's commonly played yet. I've been told that like the Kevin Jones blue-black's supposed to beat red, but it didn't seem like it did on the coverage. Oh, he's got a spell too. That's not fun. I pretty much 100% wouldn't play Earthshaker Mono Red. I would not play Esper. That's about the only things I know that I wouldn't do. I would not play Snakes. I probably wouldn't play Stompy. I think it's better versus red than like blue-white. But like I think blue-white will never beat mono red. It just won't. That will always be your worst match when you're playing blue-white. But I believe there's a blue-white deck that beats the red-black decks. And I think beating the red-black decks and then beating the control decks is enough. You can't be good versus every deck in the format. I don't think these Esper decks are even good in the control mirrors. There might be some out there that have like Bloodfasts and stuff that are closer to a blue-black mid-range deck, or sorry, a blue-black control deck that are. Wow, this guy is aggressive as crap with these Abrades. This Fatal Push is going to be great because of that. Don't feel like our games here were, the first game was kind of close and like maybe I punted it off, but like I also think our opponent drew pretty poorly that game. He didn't have a hazard until like turn 1,000,000. He didn't have a Beaumont Courier. I think he made a pretty weird play when he abraded his own dude. Like if we didn't have our Gearhulk, we just die very, very easily. Like I don't think he was supposed to braid his own dude that game. But like what's happening here happens a pretty good amount of time. Like we mulligan twice, but even if we have 2 more cards, unless they're like Gearhulks, like they don't really matter, do they? Is he actually going to play around Settle? I guess I should not press F6 then if he's going to play around Settle. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he's not playing well, and that's the only reason I think the first game was close. Like if he played perfectly, I don't think the first game's close. I think he just beats me handedly when I had a very good hand. I think I had a very good hand that game. This game, obviously, we don't have a very good hand. We drew 5 spells, 9 lands, but like, wait, 5 spells, 8 lands maybe? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, 9. That means I messed up and submitted 61 cards, didn't I? Apparently I submitted 61 cards and I wasn't paying attention. What the hell did I do wrong? I copied Matt's thing. I fought exactly. Oh well, we'll play the last round just to play it, but we can no longer prize, as I told the person who suggested this deck before I played it was the most likely outcome. We'll play first. We'll concede to this opponent even if we are about to win. Like, we won't try to knock anybody out of prize. This hand's great. We have a search for Azcanta. Which means I'm probably going to lead on the Fortress. Yeah, you can go 10-0 if anything, though. Like Matt likes to tell me, when it comes to blue-white approach decks, a deck that I personally streamed 300 plus games on, that were 300 plus games at over a 70% win rate, which is absurd. That win rate doesn't matter because it doesn't take into account player edge and stuff like that. Like, personal win records just don't matter. If it was, if we were going by just personal win records, it's hard for me to imagine that blue-white approach just wasn't better than Teamer. Just because people couldn't replicate my results doesn't mean that I'm wrong, does it? Just means maybe I understand the deck better. But that, I just don't think I don't think results matter a whole lot. This was a play mistake. I should have cast Isolated Chapel. For some reason, I thought this was an irrigated farmlands. I don't think it's too likely to matter, but because this still comes into play tapped. Just results in general don't ever impress me because, like, it's truly hard. I don't think there's enough information in the world to like look at results and say results are factual. Is what I'm trying to say. Like, even if I play 1,000 games, right, and my 1,000 games equal XX and X result, that just means so little in the grand scheme of things, since there'll be, you know, 100,000 matches with that particular deck or whatever. Just trying to flip that. In my experience, it didn't matter. Like, they had to draw 2 negates or they lost the game. And then some of the times, even drawing 2 negates didn't matter. That was just my personal experience at the match. Like, everybody says negate beats approach. But, like, I don't think negate beat approach. I don't think negate was that bad versus approach. It's a bunch of negates that were bad versus approach, or like a 4 or 5 turn clock and some negates were bad versus approach. Or good versus approach, rather. Yeah, a Toon Cub and like a Rogue Refiner negate. That's a hard card. That's a hard combination of cards to beat, but it's not impossible. I personally believe so, Kid Finkel. But just because I believe so does not make it true. Right on time for Sake the Worldly. Actually, just made a pretty significant play error this turn. I was supposed to Vraska's Contempt this before he untapped. I'm just kind of like chatting right now on autopilot. But yeah, it was pretty bad of me. I also should have let him target something, but he would have most likely targeted the one thing anyway. So I don't think there was much of a chance that would have changed anything. Do I want to put that in the graveyard? Not really. I kind of want that. Well, that's unfortunate. At least he has to make a decision between this and Azcanta. He probably made a good decision. This was a play error as well. I should have fatal pushed during my upkeep. Yep, not playing great. That's my favorite thing to do. Just not play great. You get out of here. Now, Glint. Glint was a hard thing for Approach to beat. What? You drew the third Kenra? That's pretty hard for me to beat. The third Kenra is a problem. I'm going to keep Teferi. For the grand total of about half my life. Alright, well. Let's start with this. And we're dead, folks. Yep. We are dead. Accidentally closed the sideboard guide. We have to go find it. Alright, so there's no real way to protect that, so think we're just going to let it kill it. Hey now, what's up? We're currently 1-3. We can no longer prize. So we know he's drawing a Resilient Kenra, and I don't want him to draw a Resilient Kenra. So I think I'm actually going to do this. And because Gearhulks are good draws, I'm going to Glimmer instead of Azcanta. Yeah, Matt's a great player, though. Matt has success with every deck he plays, which makes it, honestly, very hard to critique his results whatsoever. The man just wins with everything. He is good at Magic. It's just all there are to it. It's a little blessed on top of that. Could have asked Kanta there looking for Teferi, but So 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's definitely one of my favorite streamers. Like I said, the guy's just good. Can't really say anything about a man that good. No, that's a Twitch Prime number. Who are you? I like Matt. Matt's one of my favorites. Matt, Ginger, Dave C, Michael Jacob. Probably my favorite four, though. I mean, the list goes on and on and on about how many people I actually like, really, really like. So there's no reason to do it now. I wouldn't cast a fairy if I had it this turn because I can't hold up disallow, and there's some percentage chance that they have Walking Ballista on their deck. Some of the decks did. That's fine. We're just gonna freaky deaky it and gain us 2 life here. Yeah, Logan, I can't wait till Logan starts streaming. I think opponent can come very close to like conceding at this point. There's a negate in my deck, so it's better to do this to see if we hit the negate first, since we don't have that many targets for negate. Oh wow! There's a very solid chance here that I guess he can't cast commits, so would now play. Oh well, I was gonna say I would now play Teferi, so. I'm not going to use the Ascanta because we can Gear Hulk. I like Hoogland. I like Hoogland a lot too. Like me and Hoogland have had some arguments, but like I respect him a lot. I like his approach. I agree with him on a ton of things. Like obviously there's some things I don't agree with him with, but that's you're not going to agree with anybody. You know, like. You probably don't agree with everything your wife says perfectly, so it's kind of hard to say you're going to agree with a random stranger on the internet perfectly. I'm a pretty big fan of Hoogland. Back when he did paper streams, I even subbed to him. So Matt takes out this, takes out this, takes out this. Takes out a couple disallows and a couple syncopates. Wait, sorry. I don't watch him much anymore though because I'm not a Modern fan. So, but I still like the guy. I think he puts on a good show. Every now and then I watch him. Right now when he's like playing Legacy, because I kind of like Legacy, or like I've been watching some of his Hearthstone matches. Anyway, I gotta tell our opponent here, yo, homie, opponent. That doesn't bother me at all. So, told my opponent I'm going to concede to him at the end of this. I just want to play the match. If he doesn't pay attention or can't read English, I'm sorry. I apologize. Hope it's not too late. That's right. I made that joke yet again. I will keep the hand. There's no reason to be rude. If you don't like his content, not everybody's content's for everybody. I like it. But we're allowed to have different tastes. That's one of the most beautiful things about Magic and life in general. That people are allowed to like different things. I feel sorry for your children, Murph. Go ahead and smash this guy so this guy can't party right now. Ooh. You want to play this guy so I can Essence Scatter and smash something with a Fatal Push if I want. Yeah, counterspell it still. I know. Well. Is it bad that I almost want to kill that? Ripperoonie. That'd be kind of cool. He seemed like he was a good player. Wait. Opponent done no attacking. What confusion this has caused me. What? He just conceded. He's done. He doesn't want to play anymore. Even after we told him, yo, homie opponent, don't scoop. I mean, yeah, I understand that. I don't like talking bad about people. I like it. Alright, well, we went 2 and 3. We lost to Mono Red and 2 Night decks. Decks that I would expect to be at least... I don't think the Mono Red deck's per se favored, but, like, I don't think it's a good match either. I feel like it's kind of evenish and it's really draw dependent. Anyway, seems like a HTC Ciel Zone for Hearthstone. I don't know what that means, but I'm going to find out. Who can we host? Oh, Hodge is online. That means little homie Hodge gets to host Reno. Anyway, thank you guys so much for coming out. This is now $24 of Nick suggestions that have gone very poorly. I hate you, Nick. Clamor, I have no idea if it was the actual 8 full. He played at least 2 Malice, at least 2 Graces, and a History in one of the matches. And in the other match, he played 1 Grace, 2 Malice, and a Histories. So that's all we saw. But, yeah. One of them was the Esper list. I assume like Canister's been running from the Pro Tour. I don't know for sure. I can only tell you the cards we saw. And the other one looked just like your typical black-white list, you know, with some Hardikarans and things and Karns and stuff. But yeah. Hey JJ, hi man. Yeah, you showed up kind of late. You didn't get to see us sit here and be in misery that Nick made us waste another $12 like he did the last night too, because Nick wants to keep making me play Esper decks. But that's okay. That's okay. We can try to ignore Nick. Yeah, both the nights are very good. Like, the Knight of Grace has just come down versus us, and we were just like, oh my god, Knight of Grace, you do so much. And it was kind of frustrating. Don't forget, anybody that cares, in the morning, and this is for the people listening live, obviously, this isn't the same if you're watching on YouTube. The SCG coverage for their invitational stuff starts tomorrow. And also, you can look at the links below the stream to find my YouTube if you want. I'll be posting a blue-white approach and a Nick's bad Esper deck. I just like to keep calling my friends bad over and over and over. But anyway, we'll be posting those to YouTube in about the next 10 minutes for anybody who cares. And you guys can go watch Hodge, who's playing his own take on Esper, and it's got a lot of interesting cards. Thank you guys so much for stopping by as always, and thanks for the new follows. We're getting pretty close to 2K. 19 more folk, and we'll have our 2K. Anyway, see y'all. Thank you.